everyone, and my name is Yula, and today we're gonna read the Magic Crea's Merlin Mission book, 13 Moonlight on the Magic Flute. And today we're gonna start reading at chapter 6, Under the Moon, and we end our reading at chapter 7, okay? And now, are you ready to read this one book with a lot of stories? And now, here we go. And first you can read is the Magic Crea's Merlin Mission book, 13 Moonlight on the Magic Flute. Chapter 6, Under the Moon. Good grief, breathed Jack. That family has problems. Maybe we should help them, said Annie. No, we can't, said Jack. Right now we have to leave our own problem. We have to start working on our mission. Darn, I should have asked Nan's dad about Artis in the palace. I think he's too upset to think about that now, said Annie. You're right, said Jack. So we need to find some friendly people who work here and ask them. Let's go look for them, said Annie. Jack and Annie have started toward the door, and Nan have rushed to the room again. Has Wolfie come back? She said frantically. I'm afraid not, said Annie. Oh dear, Papa will die if Wolfie doesn't return soon, said Nan, near tears. Can you help me find him, please? Well, we'd really like to, said Jack, but please, said Nan again. Please? Jack sighed. Okay, he said. Sure. Thank you, said Nan. The palace is very large. I will go this way and you go that way. Surely one of us will find him. She hurried out of the room. I will bet I know where Wolfie is, said Annie. The garden, remember? He keeps talking about the garden. Oh yeah, I think the garden is below there. Terrace that I was after. Everyone laughed at me, said Jack. Let's go check. Jack led Annie back to one of an elegant palace room, that's a party room. Everyone was still seated eating dinner and talking loudly. No one noticed. Jack and Annie hurried through the double doors and slipped into the room of the turns. And Jacob opened the door, and he and Annie stepped outside. The air was chilly, but it felt good. Jack pulled off his hat and his wings. He gave his head a good scratch. And Annie had looked out at the moonlit garden. Do you think that garden's Wolfie talking about? She said. The silver light of the full moon shone on a large square of the flower beds and fountains, which bordered to the square. Cricket sound filled the night. Probably, said Jack. Wolfie. There was no answer. Let's go down and look for him, said Annie. Leaving his wing and his hat behind, Jack had followed Annie down to the stone stairway. As they started across the square, a large, strange sound came from a woods. Eee! What's that? Said Jack. Two creatures swarmed out of his trees. Ah, said Jack. Don't worry, said Annie. It's just a squirrel and a cat. The squirrel dashed over to the flower beds and disappeared. The cat ran after it. Yeah, but what was the noise from the woods? Said Jack. I've never heard the squirrel or the cat make sound like that. The other sound came from behind the trees. Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's that? Said Jack. An owl, maybe? Said Annie. I've never heard an owl make this noise like that, said Jack. Have you? Curlew, curlew. Yikes, what's that? Said Annie. I don't know. This whoop sounds like a jungle, said Jack. Wolfie, yelled Annie. But there's no answer. Wind shook the treetops. The cricket chirps grew louder. His place was really weird. Let's go back inside, said Jack. I don't think Wolfie's out there. Wait a minute, said Annie. I think I just heard him. And Jack and Annie both listened. A friendly little cry came from the woods. Annie, Jack, Wolfie's out there, said Annie. Wolfie! She picked up her hoop skirt. She hurried across the square and disappeared down to the path that led into the woods. Annie, wait! Jack called. He had started after her, but then, whoop, 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 Jack froze. Their sure whooping sound wasn't coming from an owl. Eee! Is that Annie screaming? Jack wondered. Annie! He yelled. He dashes across the moonlit garden and ran out into the path of the woods. And he had stopped between the trees. Annie! He called again. Eee! Something leaped down from a tree branch and landed to the path. Ah! Said Jack, jumping back. It looks like a baboon. Eee! The baboon bounded away. Curlew! Curlew! Jack looked up. Overhead, a huge crane glided through the air. Curlew! Curlew! Ellie! Cried Peacock. Stood into the moonlight, fanning to the green and gold tall feathers. What's going on? Jack cried. This is crazy. Ali! The peacock cried again. Jack had heard the rustling brushes. Something was moving through the woods, grunting and snorting and growling. A huge bear lumbered out of the and looked out of 10 feet tall. It growled. Hi! Jack croaked. A bell ground again, and it stepped forward. It stepped toward Jack, raking his air with a huge claws. And Jack had been backing away, and he had turned as fast as he could, as he would bay into the bay between the trees. He could hear the bear crashing through the woods behind them. Whoop, whoop, whoop. A dog-like animal bounded across Jack's path, and Jack recognized it. It was the laughing hyena, a creature that he and Annie was seeing on the plains of Africa. What's going on? Jack wondered again. Where are these animals coming from? Jack! Yelled Annie. Over here! Annie was hiding behind a tree. Jack ran over to it and crouched behind her. He could hear the bear growling and thrashing through the brush. A huge bear is chasing me, Jack said. I know, he was chasing me too, said Annie. I saw a baboon and a hyena and a crane, shrilled Jack. What's happening? I don't know, whispered Annie. Look! From behind the tree there watched the orcas prance through the moonlight. Behind the orcas, Grizzly had stopped softly over to the path into the woods, looking from the side to side, and the peacock had strolling back to the side and fanning to the luminous feathers. It's like a zoo of these woods, said Jack. Oh, wow. That's it, said Annie. What do you mean? Said Jack. The zoo. There is where they come from, said Annie. Remember our coach driver have the places had zoo, but zoos have cages, said Jack. The animals don't just roam around free. Jack, Annie, Wolfie's voice close by. That's Wolfie again, said Annie. Oh, wow, I'll bet Wolfie that let the animals out of there in cages. Help, Wolfie said. Oh man, the kid is crazy, said Jack. I know, but we have to help him, said Annie. And Annie picked up her skirt. She and Jack got free from the hiding place and walked courageously down the path. Jack, Annie, help me! And Jack and Annie have keep going and stopping and around of a shadowy moonlight. Suddenly, Annie gasped and pointed. And Wolfie was sitting at the crook of the tree up ahead. A large spotted animal had crouched below him. A leopard, whispered Jack. A leopard had looked at Wolfie and growled. And now it's chapter 7. Follow me. I think Jack and Annie need to help Wolfie from the berry scary leopard, and leopard will be escape at the zoo. And I think the cage is not that very hard, so I think the animals have go through them. And now it's chapter 7. Today I will gonna read all of the stories maybe, and tomorrow I'll be getting new beginning, new stories maybe. Now, did you have fun? US English Country will come back with some new book and new stories tomorrow. Now, bye-bye everybody. Have a nice day. Bye.